the Salon of Shame. So please welcome him, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Marr.
It's a little misleading. I wasn't quite that cool when I wrote this. April 26, 1993. Jenny and I are once officially going out again. I have to remember our anniversary. Details later. I have a lot to think about. April 28th, Wednesday, 9:59 p.m. There's a lot to say, so I'll begin last Friday on our trip to Abbotsford. I sat by Jenny as promised, and our Greyhound buses set off. I sat with Sean and Jenny to my left, and Justin and Emmy behind me. I wish I had noticed that I liked Jenny, West. That's the parentheses, their last name. We had fun on the way up, listening to Rod read a book of questions. When we reached Canada, I noticed that the whole town seems like a big fisherman's village. I also noticed a cheese sandwich on a chain link fence. We played our concert well, and Sean and I seemed closer than ever. On the way back, Rod tried to take a nap in the back seat, but we had to make him laugh awake. Sean and I started singing, "Rod is awake, Rod is awake, Rod is not sleeping." And then we come up with new verses that all ended with, "Rod is not sleeping." Jenny fell asleep on my shoulder, and I really enjoyed it, even as I entered a phase of somberness that I wasn't going out with her. At the end of the trip, I almost blew it with Sean. I kept pressing on about he and Jenny Heinlein, different Jenny, never touched. He finally told me it was none of my business. I suddenly felt like total shit. Not because he said that, but because I looked back on it and knew he was right. We both apologized, but I still felt bad the rest of the weekend. On that particular weekend, I did nothing but rig my door so I could open and close it from my bed. After Monday, everything seemed back to normal. After school, Jenny called and said something like, "I have a secret, but it might wreck things," which of course I knew the meaning of. Suddenly, I realized how much I loved her, and I asked her out. She said yes, and being such good friends, we talked about it later. The next day, it seemed just the same with her, and I got worried. She came to my house after school because of gymnastics with Nikki. I desperately wanted to put my arm around her or something, but I held back, knowing I might cause even more awkwardness. At my house, we were all set to watch Twin Peaks in my room. We sat on my bed and ate stuff. I was beginning to think what a disaster it had become, but then we held hands. She then put her head on my shoulder and we relaxed. After the first tape was over, I popped in the second one. This time I put my arm around her and we just kind of bathed in the moment.
Aww.
Somewhere in there, my mom came home and I had to go stand guard until she left. When we got underway again, she turned to me and said, "Want a kiss?" I agreed, and we talked about how for a minute, and then it just kind of happened. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it was short and hard to remember through my throbbing head. It's so great to be able to talk about it after it happens. It makes things much more comfortable. After this, Nikki came and got her, but she remained on my mind for the rest of the day. I'm surrounded with a huge, warm happiness, and I love it. I then thought about how finally, after all this time, I had kissed Jenny. Once it sank in, it felt great. My one huge problem and regret solved. I also realized that this time, it would last much longer and be more romantic. The last thing I realized that we were better together than the 9th grade pairs, except for Jenny and Sean, the other Jenny. On our first date, we had held each other close and kissed, which is probably more than Justin and Emmy can say. One last thing before I sleep, if it sounds like Jenny is just a status symbol for me to compete with the 9th graders, know that it's untrue. With Jenny, I can forget the world. She truly makes me happy, and I think I might love her. Wow. Well, I need to think, and it's pretty late, so see ya. Sunday, May 2nd. I need to keep this short. I'm pretty tired. Today, Sean, his Jenny, my Jenny, and I went to a 5:30 showing of Benny and June. It wasn't as awkward as when we went to Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, but it didn't go like I wished. We held hands the whole time, but during a kissing scene, I asked if she wanted to kiss, and she said, "Not till Tuesday." I think that something is definitely happening, but I can't tell what. It's like when people are around, she doesn't even want to be near me. It's fine when we're alone, but I was very disappointed at the big band dance when she wouldn't dance with me. I don't want to break up with her, but I'm not sure what I should do. Something really isn't right, and we need to have a talk. It's late, though, so see ya. Wednesday, May 5th. May 5th. Jenny and I broke up on Monday. I guess it was only meant to be a one-week thing. I feel really good, though, because I can finally think about and look at other girls without feeling guilty. When I look back now, I get really mad at how she treated me, and I wish we'd never gotten involved, except, of course, for Tuesday. That was great. That was great. At least I can say I've kissed before. I hate my baseball coach. He always has me out for 2 or 3 innings so that little shithead coach's son Matt can play. I hate everyone on my team except Cameron and John. Herb just walked in. I'm in the family room waiting to tape the last episode of Quantum Leap. Yesterday we had a jazz concert which went okay, but I didn't have any solos. Emmy, Colin, and Sean have been especially nice lately, and I'm trying to enjoy these days to the fullest. On Friday we're going to the Bellevue Jazz Festival. That ought to be fun. Today at lunch, Sean pulled me away from a huge mass of eating 9th graders to tell me that he wants to break up with Jenny. His Jenny. Although I was sad to hear that the longest relationship I had known was coming to an end. It felt good to know that he told me before anyone else. There's an enormous feeling of relief that comes with not being obligated to a female. What is it with me anyway? Well, not much else to talk about. The only break in my lifelong batting slump was a walk today, so on that very happy note, I'm going to say adios and see ya! Jenny's here tonight.